Greetings. In our ongoing exploration of the book of Exodus and the theme of redemption, we embark on a transformative journey. The Israelites sojourn through the wilderness. This journey, marked by trials and issues, had God's unwavering provision. It speaks to our own paths through life's ups and downs and deserts and wildernesses. Today, we will delve into three key areas: the wilderness as a crucible of faith, manna, God's daily sustenance, and water from the rock, God's abundant provision. The idea is to be able to mirror the struggles and the strides made by the Israelites and draw upon lessons that we could potentially apply in our own lives. So let me start with the first sub-theme: the wilderness as a crucible of faith. Exodus chapter 13, verses 17 and 18, we read, when Pharaoh let the people go, God did not lead them on the road through the Philistine country, though that was perhaps shorter. For God said if they faced the war, they might change their minds and return to Egypt. So God led the people around the desert road toward the Red Sea. Now, the wilderness is not just a physical place, it's a metaphor for the trials and challenges we face in life. Just as the Israelites wandered in the desert, we too encounter sessions of hardship and testing. The Israelites' journey through the wilderness was not the shortest route. It perhaps was a necessary one. It was a crucible of faith, testing their dependence on God. They faced hunger, they faced thirst and uncertainties, but it was in the wilderness that they learned to trust God completely. In our own lives, we often encounter desert moments, periods of uncertainty, testing, and doubt, and these moments challenge our very foundations of faith. The wilderness serves as a reminder that God is with us in those times, leading us through the desert of life's challenges and issues. Imagine a young bird pushed from its nest, forced to learn to fly. The wilderness is our flying school, if you will, where we discover the depth of our faith and God's unwavering presence as we spread our spiritual wings. The second theme I'd like to explore with you is manna, God's daily sustenance. In Exodus chapter 16, verse 15, we read, when the Israelites saw it, they said to each other, "What is it?" For they did not know what it was. And Moses said to them, "It is the bread of the Lord that he has given you to eat." Manna, the heavenly bread, is a powerful symbol of God's daily provision. It is a reminder that God cares for our physical and our spiritual needs, sustaining us day by day. The manna appeared each morning, covering the ground like dew, and the Israelites were instructed to gather just enough for the day, except for the Sabbath when they collected a double portion. The daily miracle provided sustenance for their journey through the wilderness. We often worry about tomorrow's needs, but the story of manna encourages us to trust God for our daily provision. God's faithfulness in providing the daily bread extends beyond physical nourishment. It includes the spiritual sustenance we need to journey through life. Consider a parent who provides the daily lunchbox for their child, ensuring they have the energy and sustenance needed for the school. Manna is our heavenly lunchbox, providing us with daily strength and sustenance for the journey symbolically. The third theme I'd like to cover with you is water from the rock, God's abundant provision. In Exodus chapter 17 and verse 6, we read, "I will stand there before you by the rock at Horeb. Strike the rock, and water will come out of it for the people to drink." Water from the rock is a profound illustration of God's abundant provision in times of dire need. It showcases his miraculous ability to meet our needs when all seems lost. The Israelites faced a dire situation in the wilderness, thirst without water, and in response, God instructed Moses to strike a rock, and water gushed forth. This is supernatural and provision which quenched their thirst and symbolized God's abundant care for our lives. You know, when we face seasons of drought in our lives, times when our souls are thirsty for hope, love, and meaning, water from the rock reminds us that God is the source of all that we need. He can provide for us even in the most dire circumstance. Imagine a traveler lost in a desert near death from dehydration, suddenly discovering an oasis with life-giving water. The water from the rock is our oasis in life's deserts, providing the refreshment our souls desperately seek. Let me pull this together to conclude. The wilderness journey of Israelites, God's provision of manna and water from the rock, hold profound lessons for us to apply today. They remind us that the wilderness is a crucible of faith, a place where God tests and refines us. They teach us that trust God for daily sustenance, both physically and spiritually. And they demonstrate God's abundant provision even in the most desperate circumstances. And as we navigate the wilderness of life, let us remember that God is with us, sustaining us day by day and providing for our needs in abundance. His faithfulness never wavers and his provision is never lacking. May we approach life's challenges with the confidence that just as God led Israelites through the wilderness and provided for their needs, he is leading us, providing us, and provisioning for us. Our wilderness journey is a path to redemption, and God's provision is our constant companion. Isn't that wonderful, dearly beloved? This is Pearl John signing off, the other 167. Have a wonderful weekend and a week ahead. God bless.